what's up? It's Matt in Japan. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're taking a look at, from Transformers the movie, this is 86 Studio Series Bumblebee. So let's take a quick look at the packaging. Here you have your logos up top, Transformers the movie, also on the top of the box here. Takara Tomy, Generations, Transformers down the side. There you see B package in his robot mode. An up-close shot of the animation model there. 86 Studio Series Bumblebee. On the side, you see he is a deluxe class figure, up close of his noggin there. Product info on the bottom, you see the Authentics logo and a full shot of robot mode there. You have the 86 inlay there. On the back is where we see our product images. Big screen inspired scale detail backdrop. The depths of Unicron. He converts in 23 steps to his very cute looking car mode. And then the blurb down here says, Bumblebee is saved from the acidic insides of Unicron when Daniel Witwicky comes to the rescue. And the backdrop is included. So yeah, very, very cool. Can't wait to get this guy open, see what he's all about. So without further ado, let's do just that. Okay, here we have Studio Series Bumblebee out of the box and onto the backdrop. But before we take a look at his details, let's take a quick look at the one accessory he comes with, which is his iconic blaster. Here it is in black plastic with a nice coat of silver paint over the top. And it does have some very nice nice detail on it, some nice sculpt work there. And actually, we haven't seen this blaster, actually, I don't think ever, but there was this one that was included in the Centurion Drone Weaponizer pack, which for the time, it was great. I've been using this as my weapon for the Netflix Bumblebee, but I definitely think the new 86 Studio Series weapon just looks a lot better. It's not so plain looking. So anyways, he can hold the weapon very easily. He can just plug it in to his hand like that. Very cool. And there is actually weapon storage on the back. So if you turn around here, there is a little slot right there, and it doesn't go in, it sort of goes in at an angle, so you kind of have to be careful. It does sort of slot in like sort of at an angle like that. It doesn't go straight in, but there is weapon storage, which is very nice. So yeah, let's pause and get into Bumblebee's details. Okay, let's take a look at B's details here. First of all, let's take a look at the head sculpt there. A very nice head sculpt with some nice silver paint, blue eyes, and very classic Bumblebee look there. I do think, I'm going to bring this in right now, but I do think the UFO or the Cybertronian mode Bumblebee, I do like this head sculpt just a little bit better. This one isn't bad. The Studio Series isn't bad. But I think this one is just a little bit more expressive and a little bit more sort of true to form, if that makes sense. But anyway, so there is the head sculpt. And then going down, you have the big Autobot logo smack dab in the middle of his chest. And not a whole lot going on. I mean, black plastic, yellow. You know, classic Bumblebee is not a real whole lot. There is a little slight, you know, some line detail there on his upper thighs and legs. You see the, you know, the car mode feet there. You know, definitely see more in vehicle mode, but for the most part, yeah, he's looking, you know, he's looking like Bumblebee. He does have a little bit of a backpack, but not too bad. That's how he looks from the back. And again, he feels good, feels solid. You know, there's no gaps or anything except right in there, but it's well hidden. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, he's Bumblebee, that's for sure. There's not a whole lot to talk about in robot mode. So anyways, let's do some quick comparisons. So we have Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, and then we have what I just showed you, the Cybertronian mode Bumblebee, and then we have the Netflix Bumblebee. So let's see here. Let me see if I can get just one more in here. Let me adjust my camera just a tad as well. And let's see if I can get, where is he? Oh yeah, animated from Transformers Legacy United, animated Bumblebee. So there are sort of 4 Bumblebees there. And yeah, I think they all are very similar in size. So, but I do actually like, the head sculpt on this guy. Just a little bit better than the 86 Studio Series. But there's some very quick comparisons with other Bs. So taking these guys out, and then I just want to do some other comparisons with a little bit bigger figures. So we'll bring in Gears here from Transformers Legacy United. So there's how he looks next to Autobot Gears. And then for a little bit bigger comparison, let's see here. Studio Series 86 Perceptor, just to show you, again, let me adjust my camera, just to show you like a bigger bot and how they look together. So I think they look pretty well. I think this size B scales well with the bigger figure. So anyways, let's pause and get into this guy's articulation. Okay, articulation for a Bumblebee is actually pretty good. Start at the head here. The head is on a ball joint, although you can't really move it. You can move it up a little bit and down a little bit. Not too much side to side. It will spin all the way around. You can use the actual transformation joint if you want to kind of pop that up, and he can kind of look down a little bit. It looks a little bit weird, but something you can do. I kind of wish the head was a little bit more expressive, but not bad. The shoulders are on ball joints here, so you can go out to the side. You do have an upper bicep swivel there, and then you do have about 90 degrees at the elbow, and then you have some wrist rotation, which is very nice. So you got some nice movement on the arms, so getting those out of the way. Everything feels tight as well. He does have a unhindered waist swivel, which is very nice and seems very smooth. He can do the full splits this way, and he can also do the full splits if you turn his waist and put his legs like this. He can do the full splits this way, which is kind of rare for a transformer to do, but very cool. Definitely get him in some nice action poses there. And then, yeah, like I said, he kicks back that far, and then he does kick up to about a 90 degree, and then he does have a 90. That's the transformation joint. Let's see, the knee here. He does have a 90 degree angle at the knee. Again, these joints are very tight, so very, very nice. And then he does have an ankle rocker joint, which is, let's see here. It's actually below the knee. There's a cut right there at the knee there. So I was kind of expecting it to be down here, but there's actually a cut at the knee. So he does have some ankle movement there. And then you can actually use the transformation joint here as well to sort of, this kind of pops up if you want to have a little bit more articulation there. But yeah, the ankle is up a little bit more. It's not as low as I thought it was. But yeah, otherwise, some very cool, you can have him going out like that and then do that whole pose like that. So yeah, actually very well articulated for this little guy. But yeah, that's about it for articulation. Let's get this guy transformed into his car mode. All right, let's transform Studio Series A6 Bumblebee. First thing you want to do is go back here to the backpack and just sort of lift that up, get that out of the way there. His head will kind of lift up, which is fine. Let's just get this out of the way there. Next thing you want to do is fold down the chest. This chest piece will open up like so. Get that chest piece folded down. And then as you saw, as you bring this up, the head, this is actually two different pieces. So you want to take the head part and then fold that head into the cavity right like that. So again, this will kind of move on that joint there, but you want to, it's a separate piece there. So you want to get the head all the way down like that. And then you can basically just fold up the backpack so it's straight like that. And then you can, at that point, close the chest. Next thing you want to do is just bend these elbows, and they will sort of, if you hear that, they will sort of soft tab into place. Same thing on the other side. So take the elbows, bend them until you hear that sort of soft tab. And then you want to take the elbows and then put them back like so, like you're sort of in a running pose there. And then next thing you want to do is take these, this part, and then this will rotate out like that, like so. And then you want to take these pieces and flip them over so the wheels are facing forward, like that. So you should have something that looks like that. That's kind of cool looking. I don't know why it's cool looking, but it does look cool. Next, we're going to go down to the feet. On the back of the feet here, or actually on the bottom, are these little sort of gap fillers. So they are sort of tabbed into place right here. So you want to just untab them. Actually, sorry, right there. You want to just untab them like that. And same thing on this side, just sort of untab them like that. So they're kind of sticking out like that. And then this piece, the back of the leg will, or the back of the foot rather, will fold out like that. Same thing on the other side. Back of that part will fold out like so. And then at this point, you can just, there's a tab there in the slot. You can just fold them up like that. Same thing on the other side. Fold that up like that. Okay, at this point, we can actually just tab the front of the car together. So there's a tab in the slot there, so you can just put the car front together like that. And then at this point, you're going to take this waist joint and you're going to kind of break it in half like that. And then there's a tab slot connection right there. So you're going to make sure that goes all the way up. And you got to be careful here because a lot of kind of moving parts here. So you want just make sure that is clicked into place like so. And then next thing you want to do is you can bring the legs up like this, just at the hips. You want to, again, this is a little bit tricky here. You want to bend the legs up like that. So you're bending at the hip joint right there. And then what you want to do is take this piece here and then bend up like so. And then you're going to use that joint there, and then you'll see these pieces sort of pop up. And then what you want to do is kind of fold at this joint right there. There's a joint right there that you want to fold, and then this part will sort of flip up there. This is very tricky, but if you do it, it should slot, making sure that front piece is all the way tabbed together. And then as you're doing that, this part you'll sort of form the front of the car. It's very slick. I really love that part. And then there are tabs right underneath the side mirrors that will tab into place, and they look like they already tabbed into place there. Just making sure, give me the old transformer squeeze there. I think they're tabbed in there. Basically, if you don't see that sort of jagged part right here, you've done it right. And then just make sure that is all together like that. So basically you have the front of the car like that. Next thing you want to do is bring these parts down. So these parts will fold down like so on the other side as well. Fold that down, and then making sure this is all tabbed in here. We can give it the old transformer squeeze at the end. Next thing you want to do is take the two arms and just tab them together. There's a tab and slot connection right there. So we're going to make sure those are together like so. And we're almost there. Basically, the last part is kind of accordion this back piece down, and then you're going to put that down, and then there are two little tabs right beneath the tail lights that will tab into place like that, and that will tab into place like that. So there is that, and then you want to just, again, make sure you have everything sort of squeezed together there. And that is A6 Studio Series Bumblebee in its alt mode. So let's pause, and we'll get into his details. Okay, here we have Bumblebee all transformed into his alt mode. Let's take a look at his details. This is just a super cute alt mode. I really love the look of this. So you have some silver paint for the rims there. The tires are pinned on, and he rolls like a dream. He rolls really well there. So no problems there. And the tires are plastic. They are not rubber, but they actually do look like they are rubber. One thing I noticed on this figure, which is a huge just eyesore for me, is the mismatch of the plastic and the paint here. I don't know why they didn't cast this out of the same color plastic. Sunstreaker syndrome all over again. A very missed opportunity here, I think. So that's really unfortunate. I'd say that's my only complaint about this figure, is just the mismatch of paint and plastic. Also, I think a missed opportunity as well is the fact that they could have used the blue for the windows and the the back window and the front windshield. I think, like we saw on Studio Series 86 Brawn or Gears, I think that blue, that powder blue, just the cell shade blue, would have changed the whole look of this figure. So, I mean, the black isn't bad. I do like it, but I do like the blue better. So, you do see some detail on the front here. You got some light silver for the headlights there. You see the bumper there. You do see the Autobot logo, which magically appears in the alt mode, which is very cool. Another logo up there we saw in robot mode. That's about it for vehicle mode. You see a door handle there. Not a lot of detail. On the back, you get some red paint for the tail lights. You get the bumper as well. So yeah, that is basically how he looks. Now for weapon storage, you have that same exact slot that we saw in robot mode. So you can take his weapon and just peg it in again, goes at an angle there. So you have weapon storage in vehicle mode, which is very cool. So bringing in some G1 comparisons here. So this guy really is reminiscent of the old penny racers. So remember these guys back in the day, you put the penny in there, and I think just the shape is very, very similar. So there is a quick comparison there. And then you have the G1 Bumblebee, which is more like a Volkswagen Bug there. So I do think, from a design standpoint, I think it's very nice, but it's just a little bit different than we saw in the animated movie. But taking those guys away and bringing in some more Bumblebee comparisons, here is Legacy United animated Bumblebee there, and I think they look pretty good together, and they're almost the same size. So putting these guys next to each other, they are about the same size. Maybe the animated one's a little bit bigger. So taking that guy away and bringing in the Netflix Bumblebee there. So you have your, licensed Volkswagen Beetle there. That's how he looks. And definitely the color is just, I like this bright yellow as opposed to this sort of orangey yellow. So there they are side by side. Obviously the Netflix Bumblebee is a little bit bigger. Bringing in some other vehicle, actually one more vehicle mode. We have gears here. Now this is what I was talking about. That cell shaded blue on the windows, I think would have made this figure just pop. So there he is next to Autobot Gears. I just love that. I just love that look of the blue on the windshield. So I think, again, a missed opportunity for this figure, but overall a very cool design nonetheless. So anyways, that is 86 Studio Series Bumblebee in his vehicle mode. Let's get this guy transformed back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, so my final thoughts for Transformers the Movie Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. This is a really great figure. My only real complaint is that paint mismatch between the yellow paint and the yellow plastic. And I do wish they had added that cell shaded blue for the windows. But other than that, I really can't complain. This is an awesome figure. Great articulation, nice detail. The fact that he comes with his iconic blaster is just the icing on the cake. A really fun figure overall. So anyways, this has been the video review for Transformers the Movie Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. This has been Matt in Japan. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more great content. And as always, till all are one, have a great day.